2 more. Dead. Yep, trying to go more.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm BRAVExHERO, and today I've got a good one for you. We're going to be talking about a build that got players tilted, a build that I shouldn't even be showing because of how fun and deadly it is. But before we get into the video, do me a huge favor, guys. If you like the video, you guys are enjoying the edits, then do me a huge favor and hit that like button because it really helps the channel out. But without further delay, let's get into the video. Now, I've made several builds in the past, some of them that are very lethal and some of them that are extremely fun, but I've never had a build that's put a smile on my face, a build that is fun and lethal all at the same time. And that's what we have here today. Today, we're going to be talking about two weapons specifically. We're going to be talking about the Friction Fire, the new SMG that you can pick up from the Crow. You can easily farm for this weapon. And the Deafening Whisper, the new grenade launcher, which is going to be a wave frame. Yes, guys, a grenade launcher that isn't the mountaintop, that does something extremely different to the mountaintop, but is as deadly as the mountaintop. For those wondering, yes, we will be doing a quick overview of the weapons and seeing what perks we want on these weapons to make this loadout deadly. Now let's get into the grenade launcher, the Deafening Whisper. Now again, you can pick this up from the Crow by filling in the right requirements in the lure and ultimately just grinding a couple bosses to get the roll you want. Now for this weapon, I ultimately can only say you only want one perk, or one perk matters the most, which is going to be auto loading holster. Now the reason you want auto loading holster as a perk is because you want to use this weapon as a priming tool. You want to be able to prime targets with this weapon, which is going to allow for an easy cleanup afterwards. Now with this grenade launcher, it is a wave frame, meaning when you fire a shot, projectiles release a wave of energy when they contact the ground. Ultimately, you pretty much spread fire on the ground, or void fire, regular fire, whatever element you have. With the Deafening Whisper, is going to be a void flame wall, essentially. Now, unlike the mountaintop and other grenade launchers, this weapon can be fired on the ground. It can be used to stop players that are rushing you. If a player is rushing you with a shotgun, you can easily activate this grenade launcher, fire the projectile fire on the ground, and easily clean them up with a melee or another weapon. Now remember, this is Destiny 2, and players love to take lanes and just snipe from those lanes, or kind of just clump up together in a certain lane or a doorway. This grenade launcher is great to disperse large groups of enemies, essentially like a crowd control device. Another benefit to this is it loads itself. By firing one shot, you can get back into the fight with your other weapon. Then one of the best benefits of this grenade launcher is you can fire it from behind cover or peek fire with this weapon, allowing you to do maximum damage with very little exposure to yourself. Lastly, what I do like about this grenade launcher is you can fire it from anywhere on the map. As you can tell in my controlled environment, once you understand how the flame is dispersed from your grenade, ultimately you can kind of plan it out and angle properly to destroy a lot of enemies with it. Now let's move into the second weapon, which is going to be the Friction Fire, is a kinetic SMG. Now for this weapon, I do want a roll, and when I say I do want a roll, I'm still searching for my god roll. Currently, I have a Killing Wind Slideways weapon, which isn't bad at all. But for this, I really want Subsistence and Rampage. The reason I want Rampage and Subsistence is for the fact that you are going to be utilizing this weapon as a cleanup weapon. If you activate Rampage after getting a cleanup, then you can easily stack kills left and right. Especially if you utilize the Deafening Whisper, you damage some enemies, you damage multiple enemies, you can now utilize the Friction Fire. Every time you get a kill, you'll activate Rampage and you'll activate Subsistence, allowing you to chain multiple kills over and over. Do keep in mind that this SMG is only there to do the work in the aftermath. When your grenade launcher does all the work and deals enough damage, you go in there, easily clean up enemies with the Friction Fire. Now let's top off this build because it wouldn't be a build if you're not utilizing an exotic. For the Titan class, we're going to be utilizing the Peacekeepers with the exotic perk Mecha Holster, which reloads stowed SMGs and allows you to ready them instantly, but it also improves your handling with SMGs and your movement while wielding one. Now this is where we put it all together and we see the synergy at work. When you're utilizing the Deafening Whisper, you're going to fire a shot. You're going to do some damage. Maybe 2 or 3 enemies will get damaged, maybe 1. This is where you swap to the Friction Fire and you easily clean up that enemy or those 2 enemies. You swap back to the Deafening Whisper because auto loading holster, it kicked in, and you continue this process over and over again. And I'm telling you right now, this is deadly. The most fun I've had in the Crucible this entire season has been with this build. I wouldn't be putting a video about it if it wasn't for this build. I personally hate grenade launchers, but the Deafening Whisper, one that you can acquire right now, has become one of my favorite weapons in this current meta. Now, if you're not sold on that, just look how fast I can kill this enemy. Look how fast I even mess up and I'm still able to draw my grenade launcher, fire, and easily clean up. In a controlled environment, do you see how I fire my grenade launcher and almost instantly swap to my SMG and get an easy kill? It's that quick and fast. Also, I do want to close off with this. If you're utilizing any slow mechanics or freeze abilities, you can use the Deafening Whisper and do work with that. Imagine capturing a few enemies in a dust field, then firing the Deafening Whisper. Well, not only are you slowing them down, but you're keeping them confined to one spot. And this is all without damage boosting perks. This is out with Charge with Light. This is without the Whisper of Hedrons. You can only imagine how deadly this build gets once you're Charged with Light or you freeze a target and you start getting Whisper of Hedrons active. It's pretty nuts, guys. Overall, this has become one of my favorite combos to use this season. I'm a little sad that I didn't get to use this in the last Iron Banner, but when the next one shows up, knowing that all these enemies are going to be capturing zones, oh man, I can see the hate mail already. I can see the hate mail at the end of every Iron Banner match. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because we're dropping videos 2 to 3 times a week, and we have been streaming 2 times a week. So if you guys want to catch those as well, hit that bell notification so it lets you know when I go live. With that, thank you so much for watching. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. And like always, I'll see you in the next video.